Hello guys, welcome once again to Homsu, and on today's video I'm going to be showing you how to build an incubator. So we're going to be building a homemade incubator, which means we have to make it cheap, right? So if you're watching this video, it's because you probably want to save a bit of money, and you know, I'm here to help you because I actually I've been doing these incubators for a long time, and they work perfectly. They're just fine. It does the job, you know, and obviously for the price that you pay, which is technically none if you're a breeder, then yeah. So first thing first, I'm gonna tell you what kind of things you need. So when it comes to building an incubator, especially a homemade one, there's one thing you need to take into consideration, and that is your egg box. So your egg box is where you're gonna be putting your eggs of any species that you desire to breed or incubate. You're gonna need an egg box. So this will determine the size of the incubator basically. So I'm gonna be doing a single top or a single egg box incubator using a foam box, which I'm gonna show to you in a second. So now for the incubator, you're gonna need a foam box. This one is perfect for me because I'm only doing one clutch, and as you can see, it fits, it matches, and it will do the job just fine. So this foam box, you can find it literally like anywhere that sells vegetables. That's what I did. I woke up early in the morning, I went to this vegetable shop and I was like, listen, have you got any of these foam boxes? And they were like, you know, they were happy. I did offer to buy it, but they said you can have it for free, which, you know, it's a plus. So yeah, you can see the inside. It's pretty much just a foam box, and this is good because it keeps the temperature inside, and it's just a cooler basically. So this will do the job just fine. Thirdly, we're gonna need some heat source. This could be a heat cable. Obviously I wouldn't recommend any heat lamps or bulbs, anything like that, no, because it will just melt the foam. I will highly recommend a heat mat. This one is like a Exoterra one heat mat. It's got 16 watts, and this will fit perfectly on the foam box. So you know, now obviously when we're using a heat mat, we definitely need to use a thermostat. This will regulate the temperature, and this will also set the temperature to your desire. So for example, ball pythons, you will need 32 to 33 degrees Celsius. So with this you control that temperature, and obviously if you want to do it lower or a bit higher depending on what you're going to put inside the incubator, then you can always adjust it using a thermostat. So please do not do it without a thermostat. So another thing that I'm going to be adding is going to be this sort of grills that I found at B&Q. They're just random grills. You can use whatever you think will do the job, but this is so I put on top of the heat mat. And what it is, it's going to create a barrier between the heat mat and the egg box, because you don't want the egg box to be directly on the heat mat. So there are definitely some grills. Now this is just, if you want to, is just some cable management, just some cable ties, just so we tie everything up. And yeah, another thing that we're going to need is water bottles. I'm going to be filling up these water bottles, put them inside the incubator. This will help us maintain a temperature. Because just in case if something does go wrong with the heat mat, for example, and then you realize in time, then this will help you maintain that temperature, because this will basically the water will warm up to the temperature that you set the heat mat to, and if it does fail, this will obviously keep it running for a bit longer. So if you do happen to have an incident or whatever, then you still got a larger period of time to correct it. So those are all the things that we're gonna need to build this incubator successfully. If you want to add anything else, it's up to you, but this is just the bare minimum, I would say. So yeah, let me just get building. So yes guys, the first thing you want to do is you want to find the top of the heat mat, and you want to place it down wherever you want to put it. I would recommend just putting it in the middle, and then you want to see where this cable might come out from, and then what you want to do is you want to make a mark. I'm gonna put one right there. I don't know if you can see that, but I just made a little dot there, so I know where the cable is gonna be coming out from. And then I'm gonna use a chopstick. Obviously you don't want to use anything hot because it will just expand the foam. You can use anything sharp. I'm gonna be using a chopstick, and obviously the size of the chopstick is roughly the same size of the cable, because you don't want it to be too big, because it's just gonna let the air out. And then you just want to make a hole. But then what you want to do with this is you want to remove the whole head in order to fit it through, so we have like a clean fit, because you don't want any of these cables hanging around, you know, making gaps between the lid and the box. So that's the first thing we're going to be doing, and then I'll be back. So an easy way to fit this through will be to wrap rub the tip with a tape, right? And you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, just so we can get the cable through. Then you find, I don't know how you're gonna see this, then you find the hole, and then you push on this side, and boom, you have your cable inside. So then we can easily just remove this. There we go, and we have it inside. So now the next step. Once we have our heat mat in place, we want to make sure we secure it, and I'm going to do that using tape. So I'm going to tape all the corners and obviously put the plug back to the main cable. So now that we've secured the heat mat and the cable is all good to go, the next thing is gonna be to put the probe inside near the heat mat. This is what regulates your temperature. This is what reads the temperature that the heat mat is producing, and then it will give the signal to the thermostat when to start and stop. So now we're gonna try to basically place it somewhere in the middle. Using the same method, we're gonna make a hole, feed it through, and then sellotape it to the heat mat. So we're gonna do that and we'll be right back. So now that we've put the probe in, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna be adding these grills like I said before, just so we can have a barrier between the heat mat and the egg box, which is gonna be in the middle. And great. So we're almost there. Basically this is all you're gonna do in terms of like building, and this is all you need. Obviously, one thing that I missed was you need a thermometer, so something that you can check the temperature inside the incubator, not inside your egg box, inside the incubator, because it's two different temperatures. Like when you incubate something, you want the incubator to be set at that desired temperature, not the egg box, because you're gonna end up cooking whatever you put in it. You're just gonna cook. I think this is pretty much the build, but now I'm just gonna focus a bit on like cable management and just making it look a bit fancier, if you wish. So I'll be back with you once I'm done, and I'll show you the finished product. So here it is, guys. This is the finished product. I've put the thermostat here. Yeah, it looks ugly, but you know, we move. All the cables are at the back, and then this is the interior. You can see I have an empty egg box. If you guys wanna know how I prepare my egg box, that's gonna be my next video. So I'm gonna be showing you how I prepare the egg box for my females, for my clutches basically. You can tell pretty much it's really solid, really simple to do, and it's very, very effective. Like, this is the method I use just to show you. Excuse the mess. This one is another one I made, and I trust it that much that I have my eggs in there as well. This one is built differently, as in I did the heat mat on the side, not the bottom, but yeah, it's the same thing basically. Oh, and you can tell that that's the temperature. Humidity doesn't matter that much because, you know, the humidity will be inside the egg box, not the incubator. So yeah, 32.2, that's amazing. Well, thank you very much guys for watching. If you made it this far, I must say thank you very much. Before we finish this video, we have to do something important that I forgot to mention, and that is branding. Oh, flopped. Let's try one more time. Branding. Always brand your stuff. So now on the serious level, once you do this incubator, you do not, listen carefully, you do not want to use it straight away. You want to switch it on, put it to your desired temperature, and let it work for at least 1 or 2 days. I would personally say 2 weeks, 1 or 2 weeks, literally. Just let it run, make sure, keep an eye on that temperature, make sure that the temperature doesn't fluctuate a lot. So if you're doing ball python eggs, for example, as I'm doing, you want to be 31.5, 32.5. So that range, that varying in temperature, you don't want to drop and then suddenly increase you want to make sure that the incubator is working properly before you introduce your eggs. Don't forget, this is animals we're talking about. This is things that you work hard for, so you have to make sure that it's working properly in order to get a successful hatch. Another thing that I forgot to mention is the water bottles. I've added them here. But they're empty because I'm not using it at the moment, but don't forget to add your water bottles. They're very important, very important. So that's it, guys. That concludes this video. I really hope you enjoyed it and that it was useful for you somehow. If you want to add anything to the incubator, feel free to do so. You know, it's all, as long as you got what I showed you, it should be okay. It should be fine. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please share it with a friend, give it a like, subscribe, give me a comment, tell me how you enjoyed it, how you didn't like it, you know, show me some, let's have some sort of interaction going on. But yeah, thank you, see you next time.